and they're off. No surprise from the outset. Nat Grew taking the early lead, now joined by J. Alfred Prufrock and Conrad Summers. Then comes Tax Ruling. Another gap of 3. Grinding Speed, Moonsocks, and Worried Man as they briefly go out of sight. Down along the bottom, but Nat Grew, your early leader, with J. Alfred Prufrock and Tax Ruling in second and third. Back into view now. And Nat Grew all alone has opened up 9 lengths on the field over the stack fence. J. Alfred Prufrock comes next, then Tax Ruling, Moonsocks and Grinding Speed, those two together. Then comes Worried Man, and at the back, Streett to it, and Old Timer. Continuing along the bottom and heading to the revamped water jump. And first up and over it is Nat Grew. And he's opened up 20 lengths on the field. Early going as he's going to make the turn along Pocock Road all by himself. Nat Grew running in a race of his own with Jody Petty at the front. Call it 25 back to Tax Ruling. Then comes Moonsocks, J. Alfred Prufrock, Grinding Speed, Worried Man, Old Timer, and your trailer is Streett to it. Up the incline. And on the front porch in a rocking chair, it's Nat Grew. Over the stack fence, running back towards the cover. And a conservative 40 lengths to the good is Nat Grew. Then comes Tax Ruling. Moonsocks, right there between horses. Then Worried Man, Grinding Speed, just to the outside of him, 3/4 of a length. As they pass through the cover, actually, Nat Grew is already well out of the cover, emerged up and over the next fence, and Tax Ruling and Moonsocks, those two a pair. Then Grinding Speed, picking up some ground at that jump. Old Timer right next to him. Then comes Worried Man, Streett to it, and a gap all the way to the back to J. Alfred Prufrock and Conrad Summers. Up past the stretch to the black post and rails for the first time, and Nat Grew setting the pace, sailing along. Call that lead 25 as the rest of the pack starts to close in. Tax Ruling in second, then Moonsocks, another length back. Comes Old Timer and Worried Man, and Grinding Speed has dropped back with Streett to it. 5 lengths covers that lot. Another gap of 20 to the trailer, J. Alfred Prufrock. So the bookends at the front, Nat Grew, at the back, J. Alfred Prufrock. 20 lengths in between. You find 5 lengths covering the rest of the field as they head up over the board fence and back towards Pocock Road. At the turn, it's still Nat Grew with the lead. Stays about 20 lengths as he starts the circle back towards the steward stand. And a new player in second, Old Timer. Takes over from Tax Ruling, who's still right there in third. Then comes Moonsocks, Grinding Speed, Worried Man, and Streett to it. The testing post and rail here right by the stretch, and an extra stride there, and Nat Grew Still has the lead, but it's down to 10 lengths as the posse starts to close in. Almost cutting time as they head down Jarrettsville Pike. It's Nat Grew, a 10-length advantage over Worried Man. Tax Ruling in third. Then comes Grinding Speed, another 3 lengths back. Right behind him, Moon Socks and Worried Man, and Straight to It now trying to pick up ground on the rest of the field, but over the stacked fence and already heading up the hill, it's Nat Grew, and he's been able to maintain the advantage. It's now 12 lengths. In second place, it's Old Timer, then a gap of 3. Grinding Speed is looming right there in third. Then comes Straight to It, made up a lot of ground in fourth. Tax Ruling behind those two, but it's coming down to the last, and it's Nat Grew. Can they catch him? Nat Grew sailing on the front end, coming towards the last board fence. Nat Grew up and over that one. He looks behind him, Jody Petty, and what does he see? He sees Old Timer and Grinding Speed, but they're not going to be able to get to him in time. Galloping out towards the wire, a tour de force effort on the lead. Nat Grew is your winner. Old Timer in second, Grinding Speed in third, then Straight to It.
How much fun is this? We should do this every day. I want to thank Katie Cooper of Caves Farm that taught this great horse how to jump. Interestingly, this horse was a AA competitive hunter and won the Thoroughbred Classic at PG County before we turned him into a steeplechaser. But it was Katie Cooper at Caves Farm that taught him how to jump. It was Eddie Graham that taught him how to win, did a fantastic job. And Jody Petty told him how to win and win seriously. Great afternoon, very exciting, delighted to be here. Thank you.
And the flag is up. They're all in line, and they're off. Quickly to the front, here comes Badness, right to the lead. Cub fan Budman comes up alongside of him. Then it's Derwin's Prospector and Sees Power, followed by Raven's Choice as they head down into the dip and briefly out of sight along the bottom. Here comes Badness, your early leader. And still maintains that role as they emerge back into sight, a 5-length advantage. Here comes Badness at the front, then comes Cub fan Budman, Sees Power. Raven's Choice alongside of him, then comes Derwin's Prospector as they head through the cover along the bottom and towards the rebuilt water fence. Showing the way, but only by a length now. Here comes Badness over Sees Power, then Cub fan Budman. Raven's Choice, he's followed by Derwin's Prospector, then comes Organisateur Class Brahms, Gas Can Eddie now moving up past those two, and Spectacular Squall is the early trailer. Up along Pocock Road, up the hill, still with the lead. Here comes Badness over Seas Power, Cub Fan Budman, Raven's Choice, Derwin's Prospector. All nicely spread out. Only a length or two between them as they head back down the hill towards the cover. A neck advantage for Here Comes Badness over Seas Power. And running as a pair, Cub Fan Budman and Raven's Choice as they head back into the cover and towards the first of the testing post and rail fences. Showing the way to that, it's still Here Comes Badness, then Seas Power, followed by Raven's Choice, Cub Fan Budman, then Organist Satur in between horses, Derwin's Prospector, another length and a half, back to Sovereign Fund and Class Brahms, another three to Gas Can Eddie, who has a 4-length advantage over Spectacular Squall as they make their way up the hill towards the Jumbotron and the judges' stand. At the black post and rails and going into the alley, right close together there on the lead. Here comes Badness, Seas Power, now Organist Satur right up next to those. Then comes Raven's Choice, Cub Fan Budman, Class Brahms, Derwin's Prospector, Sovereign Fund, gap of 7 to Gas Can Eddie, and another 7 to Spectacular Squall as they head towards the board fence and to Pocock Road. Reestablishing himself on the lead, it's Here Comes Badness. But only about 5 lengths covers the rest of the lot right behind him, as Spectacular Squall has pulled up, and your trailer is now Gas Can Eddie, 5 lengths off the back of the pack. Still, Here Comes Badness with the lead. Seas Power right there, also Raven's Choice. Another length back to Class Brahms with Organist Satur. Then another gap of 2 to Cub Fan Budman, then Derwin's Prospector and Sovereign Fund. Back towards the judges' stand and heading along the Jarrettsville Pike, and Sovereign Fund has lost his rider. And the race continues on, the next post and rail. And it's Here Comes Badness. Got company, though, with Seas Power, Raven's Choice, then Class Brahms, Organist Satur, and going to work, Cub Fan Budman, and another gap of 2 to Derwin's Prospector as the pace quickens as they head along the pike and down towards the stack fence. Still maintaining the advantage at the front. Here comes Badness. Behind him now, Raven's Choice, then Organist Satur, as they head over the stack fence and get ready to come up the hill. Around the turn, and it's a fight at the front. Coming to the second and last, it's Organist Satur with the lead. Call that 2 lengths. Over Here Comes Badness in second place. Then comes Raven's Choice and Class Brahms. But it's Organist Satur with the lead at the last. Jody Petty looking to go 2 for 2 this afternoon in the Manor. Once again, checks in the rearview mirror, and he's not going to find any trouble behind him. Another galloping victory for Jody Petty. This one on Organist Satur. He's going to take this one by 8 lengths over Raven's Choice in second place, with Class Brahms in third. Of John Rush Street Fisher Henry Fisher-Maroney, also joining in the trophy presentation along with David Sullivan. So congratulations once again to our winner, the number 5 Organisateur.
Well, I always loved this course. This is always one of my favorite courses. You know, I've won here years ago in South Monarch, and I've had a couple other rides around here. I've always loved this course. So this course kind of has a special spot in my heart anyway. I love the course. But the best part about today is winning for the connections that I won for today. Howie and Caves Creek people are amazing people. They actually bought this horse off me to make it into a show horse, and it was a very successful show horse that started to get a little sour, so they said run him. So we ran him, and I've had a lot of luck with him. And then Ivan and Phoebe Fisher and that connection is so today was a win for my friends, and that's even way more important. Just amazing, cool bunch of people.
That's the flag is up. They're all in line, and they're off. Volaire Barnouille and Billy Meister go straight out to the lead at the first fence. In second place is Durer, and his stablemate all the way on the outside, Heron's Well, in third. Out of sight briefly, small dip down in the bottom. Volaire Barnouille, Billy Meister, no strangers to the lead here at the Manor. We're at the front as they went out of sight, and still at the front as they come back into view. Volaire Barnouille at the stack fence. He's got a 10-length advantage over Durer in second, has his running mate, Heron's Well, right there with him. As they head into the cover, continuing along the bottom, heading towards the water fence. Volaire Barnouille sails over that one, 5 lengths to the good over Durer. Then Heron's Well and Monsteler, having moved up now into fourth place as they make the turn. The Bee's Knees, then a gap of 2 to Classy Rascal. Then comes Dax, Brother Sigh, City Press, and another 5 lengths to Be Great, the trailer, as they head up the hill along Pocock Road. Volaire Barnouille by 5. Durer and Heron's Well running as a team, then a gap of 2 to the Bee's Knees and Monsteler. Then comes Dax, Classy Rascal, Brother Sigh. And City Press is now the trailer. So they head down the hill along the bottom and back to the cover. Volaire Barnouille at the front. From the first drop of the flag. Out of the cover now, just a length and a half. Volaire Barnouille continues to show the way. Heron's Well and Durer, second and third, then Monsteler. Dax, the Bee's Knees, Brother Sigh, Classy Rascal, and another gap of 2 to City Press, and another 2 to Be Great, who's at the back and the trailer as they get ready to head up the hill. Still Volaire Barnouille. Now Monsteler has moved into second place as they come up the hill. Brother Cy also having moved up in the field. But Durr and Heronswell continue to remain together as they head into the chute now over the black post and rails. Voulard Barnouille still in the lead. Saving a lot of ground there was Durr and Heronswell. They moved up almost next to the leader as they come to the next. And we have a new leader. Billy Meister's down. Voulard Barnouille lost his rider. And the race continues on towards the board fence. And Classy Rascal inherited the lead after that mishap. But right there with him is Durr and Heronswell. Along the pike back towards Pocock Road. Back out at the front now. The advantage lies with Heronswell. Durr still right next to him. All riders a bit of a shuffle there, trying to avoid the loose horse. As they complete the turn, head towards the post and rail, back towards the steward's stand. 8 lengths covers this lot, still anybody's race at the next post and rail. And with the slight advantage at the front, it's Durr. Classy Rascal right there in second, as well as Heronswell and Monster looming up again. Then Dax, the Bee's Knees, Brother Cy, and City Press. Down the hill now, and with the lead, it's Durr, but the lead is only a length and a half. Stablemate Heronswell right behind him, as well as Classy Rascal, who's been stalking all the way along. Dax moves up into 4th place, then comes City Press, Monster gaining ground all the way on the outside, then Brother Cy, and the Bee's Knees as they come towards the stack fence at the bottom. And at the front, it is still Durr, who has been durable on the lead, continues to show the way, and now loses it to Monster. Monster, now your leader by 2 lengths with Forrest Kelly as he comes to the second to last. A popular winner at Elkridge Hartford last week, trying to duplicate the feat right here at the Manor. Forrest Kelly on Monster. Is he going to get some competition? They're trying to catch the leader, and the leader is Monster coming to the last. Is he going to have enough to get there? Monster, slight advantage. Now the whips come out. Everyone in a drive. City Press and Connor Hankin taking the lead. Another run on the outside for Durr, but it's going to be City Press and Connor Hankin pouncing on the field. A 3-length winner with Durr in second place, followed by Dax in third. And now presenting on behalf of the Fisher family, a great-great-grandson, Henry Fisher Maroney. And presenting on behalf of our sponsors, Rosenkild and Associates, Michelle Rosenkild and Sandy Dorsey.
Very, very exciting, and just co-owner. I've got partners, Charlie Knoll and Charlie Fenwick as well.
Oh, I see everybody else ducks when the interview comes up, and you're the man that stands up. Where did he come from?
We got him last August. We were advised by a good friend of Charlie's, Richard Pittman, over in England, and he came out of Lambourne. He run a bunch of races over fences there very successfully and was looking for a new career.
They're all in line, and they're off. Illustration and Conrad Summers have the early lead. As they come to the first fence, it is Illustration with the lead. Then comes Fort Henry, Sandbox Rules. Yin Yang moving up close to those with a sudden burst of energy as they go briefly out of sight into the dip along the bottom. And as they went out of sight, Illustration and Conrad Summers, your early leader. And things have changed, and changed dramatically. It's Coldwater Spring and Ed McLaughlin at the stack fence with the lead. Call it 9 lengths. And Illustration and Conrad Summers there in second place. Then comes Yin Yang in third as they head through the cover, continuing along the bottom towards the water fence. And Ed McLaughlin and Coldwater Springs show the way to that one. An Elkridge Hartford regular with a 10-length lead over Illustration in second place. Then comes Yin Yang in third. As they make the turn along Pocock Road and head for the board fence on their way up the hill. Coldwater Spring, 3 lengths over Illustration. And around the turn and heading back down the hill to the stack fence. And the leader is Coldwater Spring by 3. With Illustration there in second. Fort Henry, 3/4 of a length back in third, and another gap of 2 to Yin Yang, then another 3 to Battle Up and Connor Hankin, another gap of 2 to Sandbox Rules, and another 2 to Turco Service and Nick Carter. They are your early trailer. Through the cover once again. The last time this afternoon, coming out over on the other side, and it's a duel at the front. Illustration moving up to contest the lead with Coldwater Spring, who takes it back there. In third place, 3 lengths behind them is Fort Henry, and another gap of 4 to Yin Yang. Battle Up, and together Sandbox Rules and Turco Service. Up the testing hill towards the black post and rails. And our field continues on into the chute, and Coldwater Spring maintaining the lead. Right there, though, Illustration and Fort Henry. Comes Turco Service, Sandbox Rules, Yin Yang, and Battle Up now at the back, but 10 lengths covers this field front to back. And the pace beginning to heat up a little as they head back towards Pocock Road and that first board fence. Coldwater Spring maintaining his advantage at the front. Fort Henry and Illustration right there behind him. Then comes Sandbox Rules, Turco Service saving the ground there with Nick Carter. Then Yin Yang and Battle Up at the back. Coldwater Spring around the turn by a length over Fort Henry. And Illustration saves the ground there and moves back towards the lead as they get ready to finish the turn and head to the post and rails. Crowded at the front, Coldwater Spring, then Illustration, Sandbox Rules. Moving back into third place now, Fort Henry, and then just 2 lengths behind them, Turco Service. Then a gap of 15 to our 2 trailers, All the way at the back, that is Yin Yang and Battle Up. And it's almost cutting time now as they head down Jarrettsville Pike and letting Coldwater Spring roll at the front. It's Ed McLaughlin. And it's a 3-length advantage over Illustration and Turco Service, now moving closer to the fray as they come to the stacked fence. Up and around the corner at the front, Coldwater Spring just half a length over Illustration. Now moving well, it's Nick Carter on Turco Service right there in third, looming ominously as they come to the second to last. 5 horses still into it, up and over that one. Bit of a problem for Coldwater Spring. Loses the lead there as Turco Service takes advantage at the center of the track. At the last, Sandbox Rules and Turco Service. Illustration coming on now for Conrad Summers. Sandbox Rules has the advantage. Can he hold it to the wire? Sandbox Rules. He's going to hang tough. A great run by Illustration, but he's going to fall 3 lengths short at the wire. In third place, Ed McLaughlin and Coldwater Spring. You always seem to like the Manor course. How was that ride today?
Sandbox Rules is amazing, and it was just such a wonderful spin. Nice prep for the Hunt Cup. Neil had the horse really ready. He's been at the local point to points. It's a really tough winter for everyone trying to get their horses ready, so kudos to everyone here who ran. And I'm really excited about this horse in a few weeks at the Hunt Cup, so today was just perfect.